If you're interested in recent developments in spaceflight, then you've chosen the right video. Once again, we have the 3 most significant events of the past few days lined up for you. We'll begin with the launch of the Soyuz MS-24 spacecraft, which delivered a 3-person crew to the ISS. In the second topic, we'll focus on another batch of Starlink satellites launched into space. In the final topic, we'll delve into the significant success of the relatively unknown company, Stoke Space. On September 15th at 1544 Universal Time, the engines of the Soyuz 2.1A rocket ignited on launch pad 31/6 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The rocket successfully placed the Soyuz MS-24 spacecraft into orbit, which then successfully separated from the upper stage. Shortly after, the spacecraft performed its initial maneuvers. There was no time to waste. It was on a so-called super-fast flight profile, designed to reach the station just 3 hours after liftoff. The spacecraft's commander is the highly experienced Russian cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, for whom this was his 5th space mission. Over his previous 4 missions, he accumulated a total of 736 days in orbit. Currently, no active cosmonaut has spent more time in space, placing him 6th in the historical records. The other 2 crew members, Russian Nikolai Chubb and American Laurel O'Hara, were experiencing their maiden spaceflight. Originally, this crew was scheduled to launch to the ISS aboard the Soyuz MS-23 spacecraft in March of this year. However, plans had to be altered after the Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft, which was docked at the ISS, experienced a coolant leak. It was decided that the damaged spacecraft was not safe for the return of the 3-person crew, so Soyuz MS-23 was launched empty. The Kononenko-Chubb-O'Hara crew was therefore rescheduled for the subsequent Soyuz MS-24 mission. In addition to the trio of astronauts, the Soyuz MS-24 also carried 120 kilograms of cargo, including scientific experiments and supplies such as additional data storage. The docking process with the station proceeded smoothly in automatic mode. Soyuz MS-24 docked with the Rassvet station module on September 15th at 1853 Universal Time. After the leak checks, the hatch between the spacecraft and the station was opened, bringing the total number of people currently aboard the ISS to 10. The departure of Soyuz MS-23, which will return a 3-person crew to Earth after over a year on the ISS, is scheduled for September 27th. We'll certainly cover this topic in one of the future episodes. The most recent Falcon 9 launch occurred on September 16th at 3:38 Universal Time from SLC-40 launch pad at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
Go Starlink, go Falcon. Vehicle pictures are ready. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
The Starlink 6-16 mission was originally scheduled to launch a day earlier, but Hurricane Lee in the Atlantic Ocean created unsafe conditions for the first stage's landing. Consequently, the launch was rescheduled for the following day. In terms of statistics, this was SpaceX's 65th launch this year. It marked the 235th consecutive successful mission. The first stage of the rocket was used for the 5th time, and it successfully landed on the Just Read the Instructions drone ship. This was the 226th successful landing for a Falcon rocket stage and the 152nd in a row. After a long pause, SpaceX also showed us how the 22 Starlink second-generation mini-satellites were deployed. These satellites will use their own propulsion to transfer from the delivery orbit at an altitude of approximately 290 kilometers to their operational orbit at 530 kilometers. Have you heard of Stoke Space? If not, don't worry. It's not very well known yet, but it has big plans. It's a project founded by former employees of Blue Origin and SpaceX. Stoke Space, based in the US state of Washington, is setting ambitious goals. They aim to build a fully reusable rocket, something that has not been achieved so far. Even the Falcon 9 isn't entirely reusable because it discards its second stage. The company's primary focus is on developing an innovative second stage with a single rocket engine, featuring 30 combustion chambers around its base. In the center of the base is a vent that creates a protective layer to replace a traditional heat shield during the flight. On September 17th, the company achieved a significant milestone. As part of the Hopper 2 test, a test device reached a height of approximately 9 meters at the Moses Lake test site in Washington and softly landed after about 15 seconds. Stoke Space had the opportunity to test the functioning of the engine, thrust corrections, and many other details that will be essential in later stages of development. It seems that the company is off to a good start. We'll keep you informed about their further progress. Thank you for watching today's episode of Spaceflight News. The next episode will be released on Thursday, September 21st, and if you don't want to miss it, please subscribe. If you'd like to receive updates on other space news, you can visit our profile on the social network X, formerly known as Twitter. You'll find the link in the video description.